All right, let's go ahead and create a Thrive Apprentice and ThriveCart course sales funnel from top to bottom using everything we have at our disposal here in early 2021. Let's waste no time and jump right in. All right, so like I said, we're going to start from top to bottom, A to Z, and get this funnel set up. So first things first, let's go to Thrive Apprentice and create a new course. So this is going to be pretty simple. We're going to get a course, we're going to give it a name. We'll call it the best course ever. And we'll just do some very basic settings right now as we get this configured. So once we have our best course ever title, let's go ahead and add a course summary. So for this, we're just going to write something really, really simple. All right, so we've got our summary. We're not going to give it a cover image, but feel free to add one if you want. We're going to allow comments for the course, and that's about it. So we're going to first click save. And now we're going to go to content. Let's go ahead and add a module. We'll give it a couple modules here, and I'll skip ahead as I create these. Okay, so we have our two modules created with lessons in each one. Those are all published. And now we just have one more step to do. So let's go to access restrictions and let's enable access restrictions. And we're going to use ThriveCart. So there's nothing we need to do here. I just want to remind you that all of this is handled on the ThriveCart side. The main thing we needed to do was to set up restrict access. Now, there's a couple optional steps here that I want to go through because these are extremely useful for the user experience. And those are what I call the error pages. Basically, if a guest or a user tries to access the course without having access or without being logged in, we can show them a custom message. So here, if a guest, aka someone who's not logged in, tries to access this, so what we want to do is we want to come here and we want to show them custom content. And then we want to edit with Thrive Architect. Now let's edit this. So they've by default given us a little bit of info here. We have a nice little icon. It says you have to be logged in to access the course. The course is only available for registered users. Let's change this a little bit to something that we want, or if you like, you can keep the default. So I'm going to just change this to say, you know what I like? You must be logged in to access this course. And then click here to log in. I think that's fine. Let's add just another bit of text here. Not yet enrolled in the best course ever. And then we will center that. We'll make that an H3. Make this an H3 too, or it's an H4. We'll make that an H3. And then we can add another button. We'll just duplicate this one and we'll say, click here to enroll. Then we'll fix some of our spacing. We'll make this button a different color so that it stands out, maybe something in the orange family. Get a little more red in that. Perfect. Hit apply. All right, so we're going to want this button to go to our sales page. So we're not going to use a dynamic link. Instead, we're just going to use a normal link, and we'll put the link in here, best course ever sales page. We still haven't created that yet, but I know that's what I'm going to call it, and we'll click save work. Great, so we have our error page. If they're not logged in, we either give them the button so they can log in, and if they're not yet enrolled, we can send them over to buy the course. This is a very simple example. Feel free to customize this all you want, but we're gonna leave it just like this for now. And then we're gonna hit save work. All right, so that was for users who are not logged in. Now, we know they're logged in, but they haven't bought it yet. So instead of showing them a message, we're just going to automatically redirect them to the sales page, right? Because they're logged in, we know they don't own it. That's maybe not the best user experience. Maybe we wanted to show them an interstitial page that says, hey, you got to buy this. I'll leave that up to you. If so, you can simply do exactly what we did before, where we display some custom content. But for now, we're going to redirect them to a custom page. And we are, in this case, going to go ahead and create a new page. And we're just going to call this one our best course ever sales page, and we'll click add page. All right, and now our sales page has automatically been created by Thrive Apprentice, which is super useful. And our next step is going to be to go in and edit that. But first, let's just finish up a few things here on the Thrive Apprentice side. So go ahead and click save. And last of all, we want to change the restriction label here. So we have a couple restriction labels that I've already created in the past, but let's go ahead and click add label. And let's call this one, we'll just call it Best Courses by Convology. You can give this any label you want, but we're creating one so that you can see how that works. So this is going to be labeled one of the best courses by Convology. And that's it. We don't need to do anything else here other than if we wanted to give this a difficulty label, choose our author and choose our topics. So by default, we have courses and you can add as many as you want. I've created master classes, workshops, and courses. Let's just call this one courses and we're good to go. So go ahead and hit save. And then when you're done, click publish. Terrific. Now, if you're on a website that's live, you may not want to publish just yet until you're ready to go because you don't want other people to see that course. But no matter what, before you can set up the ThriveCart side of things, the course must be published. And in fact, I recommend you publish this about 5 minutes prior to doing the ThriveCart step because sometimes the API can take a little bit to get going. All right, creating a sales page is super easy. We're going to actually use Thrive Architect. So what I'm going to do is, as you remember, we set up that page. I'm going to click edit there where it's redirecting to a custom page. And I'm going to edit in Thrive Architect. So for this video, we're actually going to use the completely blank page and we're going to import one of my sales pages that I've built before. So we're going to choose completely blank page. And again, you could have chosen to edit that as any of your options that you want, but I recommend a blank page when doing a sales page so that the user is distraction free. But now we're going to upload one of my templates that I use when I build course landing pages. So to do that, we're going to go to this gear and we're going to choose import landing page. All right, so what we're going to use today are the sales funnel templates that are available to you if you purchase ThriveCart through my affiliate link. And I'm also going to make it available to you if you purchase Thrive Apprentice through my affiliate link. I'm going to put both of those in the description. You also have access to these if you're a member of Convology Pro, which is our exclusive membership that gives you an all access pass to all workshops, courses, masterclasses, a special section in the community for pro members, and of course, all of the really great templates just like these. So you'll have access to the course sales page in Thrive Architect, the membership sales page built in Thrive Architect, the standard checkout, the embedded checkout with some upsell funnels, and our confirmation page template. We're going to use these today in this video, but let's go ahead and first download the course sales page that was built in Thrive Architect, and I'll show you how we're going to upload that and use that. All right, so we have that downloaded to our computer here. Let's go ahead and jump back over to our demo site, and I'll show you how to upload that and use it. So all we have to do is drag our file over, and once we have that over, we just simply click import. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring in all the images and content and everything that was on my sales page and bring it in over here on my demo site. And we're only going to have to make a couple little tweaks to this to get it looking just like we want it. All right, so obviously your course is not called Thrive Apprentice to Master. It's called the best course ever. I'm not going to necessarily tweak all of this other than maybe just to change the title here, best course, and then we'll just have this be stupidly ever, and we'll just hit enter there, and then maybe we'll make that bold, and we'll change the font color there to something like I had before, make that bold too. All right, so you can edit this however you want. This comes pre-configured with some fantastic design principles that I teach in my Thrive Architect course. But essentially, you're going to have the what you'll learn section so that you can tell people, hey, these are the main highlights in my course. This is why, these are the main 4 to 5 points why you would want to buy this right now. It also has what's in the course curriculum. You can walk them through step by step on your modules. You can get people excited about this. You also have the requirements, right? What's required for this course? What are the tools you're going to teach with? So you can let people know what they are. You can give people an amazing benefits section, right? So for me, I talk about my courses being up to date. And then of course, the classic, who is this course for section, where you can make sure you identify with people that are going to be purchasing the course. And then I like to give a little more info about the course format, what people can expect. And then I like to give them the pricing section. And then of course, the section where you insert your payment processor. So we're going to come back to this for sure. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and click save, and boom, the page is entirely done for us already. That was really easy, right? So just bear in mind, when you import this into your site, you may have to adjust some fonts. They're going to pull in and inherit some of the default fonts for your site. So hopefully everything should work and look great. So once we're happy with that, we've saved. Now it's time to move on and create our confirmation page where people are going to go after they make the purchase. All right, now it's time to build our confirmation page. So let's go ahead and add a new page. Let's call this confirmation best course ever. And let's go ahead and publish that. And then let's edit that with Thrive Architect. Now we have this familiar choice. We can make this a normal page on our website. We can make it a completely blank page, or any of these four. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back to our sales funnel templates, and we're going to use the confirmation page template. So let's go ahead and download that and import it into our site. So to do that, we're going to choose a completely blank page, and we're going to push the gear and import landing page. And now we're going to drag in our confirmation page template, import, and our confirmation page is all set. Now, a couple things that we can do. We can go to the gear on the right-hand side, click on that, then click global. And if we want, we can add the header of our website directly to the top of this page. That's a nice feature because this page doesn't necessarily have to be a air quotes landing page with no header or footer. And we can repeat that process and add the footer to our website as well. So now we have a terrific template imported in. And if some of the images aren't included, all you have to do is come in here, hit replace image, find an image you want to use, and add it in. And once you've customized this confirmation page, letting people know that next they need to check their email, then they visit the courses page, and you've configured this so that the experience is really good for your users, all you have to do is click Save Work. Okay, so to recap, we've created our course, we've created our sales page, and we've created our confirmation page. Now, one thing about our confirmation page is that we're going to need this again when we go to ThriveCart. So if you've never done this before, inside of your WordPress page editor, you can go on the right-hand side where you see permalink and just make sure that you know what the permalink or the direct link to your confirmation page is going to be, because we're going to put that into ThriveCart. All right, so now we're going to create a dashboard so that we can create a custom and curated experience for all of the users who have an account on our website. This is like the hub that we want people to go to every time they log in and visit our site. So we're going to create a new page, we're going to call it dashboard, and we're going to edit that with Thrive Architect. Now for our dashboard, we can go ahead and keep this a normal page. Again, there's no problem with them seeing our navigation. Now we're going to keep this really simple. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to add a background section just because I like having background sections as my containers. And then inside of that, I'm going to add a, I don't know, 3-column layout. We'll keep it simple and I'll center things here. And I'm going to go quickly through building this with Thrive Architect. I'm going to show you the whole process, but if you have any questions about the mechanics or the little tweaks that I'm doing, I cover all of this in my Thrive Architect course and a lot of this in my Thrive Apprentice course as well. So do your best to follow along. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. So we're going to add in a content box, and then we're going to add in an icon. And again, I think this one right here is going to link over to our courses. So let's see, we're going to search an icon for courses. I didn't expect there to be anything. What about a book? Maybe like a book or learning. So we'll look through here and see if there's anything that looks like courses. Sure, that looks great. We'll select that. We'll change the color to my brand blue. We'll hit apply. All right, it's starting to take shape. Let's add some text below that and call this our courses and workshops. We'll make this an H3. We'll left align our icon. We'll add some more text below that, and we'll say view all of the available courses and workshops inside of the course index. I don't know. You can come up with something better to say. All right, now I want to define this a little bit. So I want to give my content box a border. So let's go to borders and corners. Let's pump that up to 1 pixel. Let's come in here and maybe add in a light gray border. That's kind of subtle. I like that. What does 2 pixels look like? Yeah, 2 pixels looks nice. Let's give that a little bit of a rounding. I kind of like 6 pixels. Super clean. All right, now when they hover over it, I want to have an effect. I want the background style to match the borders. So we're going to add in the same color. And then the border, I'm going to darken a bit when they hover and hit apply. Now, whenever they hover over this section, maybe that's a little too dark. So you can see there's no right or wrong way to do this, but we're going to change that hover effect a little bit more lighter. Yeah, it looks better. Perfect. So now when they hover over it, it's like a tile that they've interacted with. So we have our courses and workshops tile. Let's duplicate that now and just swap some things out. We'll have this one be, we'll just call it Facebook community. So maybe you have a Facebook community, or better yet, Facebook group. I think that's what all the people like these days. We'll change the icon, and let's change this to Facebook. Grab ourselves a Facebook icon. What does Facebook use? The circular one these days? Probably. So we'll add that in there. That looks nice. And then we'll say, join the community and interact with other students from the course. And then we'll duplicate that one last time. And you could have as many of these as you like. 6 might be what I would do. But this last one, we can just call this one Ask Doug a Question and say, have a question or need support. All right, we'll search for an icon for that one. That looks good enough to me. Keep it in a circle. Okay, so now we have the beginnings of a really nice looking dashboard. A couple more things I might do here. I might put in some text above my columns and call it like we could say, welcome to the dashboard, and then dynamically insert the user data, and we'll do the WordPress first name and click insert. And now it's going to welcome them to the dashboard by their name. So let's do layout and position. Let's add inside of our background section, let's add 40 pixels of margin, or padding rather. And that looks good. And then let's maybe make this a little bit bigger. So it'll say, welcome to the dashboard, Doug, with an exclamation. Now it's looking more like a dashboard, and maybe the let's see, the last step here, I want to make a user profile section. So maybe instead of just doing a section on this page for them to change their password and manage it, maybe we'll change that all in the navigation. So let's actually change this from a hamburger button. Let's build out a navigation, and I'll show you how to create like a password reset page. So let's go ahead and save our work here. Oh, by the way, one step backwards, content box. Let's go to animation and action, and let's link over to our courses. And then under Facebook group, let's pretend we added the link to our Facebook group, and ask Doug a question. Let's pretend we linked them over to our contact page. So we'll go ahead and click save, and I'll let you worry about making those other 2 pages. But next, let's go ahead and address the My Account section. All right, again, for this one, let's go ahead and click normal page, and let's come in here and search for user, and let's add the user profile element, which is just a terrific way to give people the ability to manage their information and change their username and their password. We'll go ahead and just choose a really simple default option here. That looks fine to me. We won't fuss about what it looks like, but you're free to do that. And essentially, we're giving people the ability to edit their first name, their last name, email address, and their password information. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of text here before we're done, and say, update your profile, and center that. We'll make that our H1. Probably give it a little more positioning there. We'll put it to 40 to keep it consistent with our other pages. Great. Now let's add a little bit of text here and say, use the, or we can say something like, update the information on your account. I don't know, keep it simple, but just showing you that you can do that, and then click save. And now we have a profile page. So that's super easy. That could have been a tile on our dashboard, but instead, like I mentioned, we're going to add it to our navigation. So let's go ahead and jump back into the back end of our site and update what this navigation looks like and how it works. All right, so let's go ahead and set up the custom menu that we're going to use for our site. So I'm in here in my menu under WordPress. We could have done this in Thrive Theme Builder, but I like some of the options we have here for logged in, logged out status. So editing my main menu, I'm going to add some of the pages that we just created and do some cool little tricks with login and log out. So let's add the profile page we made, the dashboard page we made. Let's add the login page that we made. And that's good for now, and then we'll custom make some. So the profile page is really only applicable if somebody is logged into the site. So I only want people to see this in the navigation if they are logged in. The dashboard, which I'll put over here, I only want them to see the dashboard if they're logged in. And I want them to see the login option only if they are logged out. In fact, we can actually there's a special feature here under Thrive Apprentice account called Login Logout. So instead of log in, I'm actually going to remove that element and just use the login logout. So if they're logged in, it'll show logged out, or log out and vice versa. So that looks good to me there. Let's add a custom link. Let's put the hashtag and put the link called my account. We'll add this to the menu. And under my account, that's where we'll add login, log out, profile, and we'll go ahead and also add, let's see, we want to have a link to our courses. So let's go ahead and add, let's see, we'll do a custom link for that as well. The URL will be courses. We'll call this courses. It's looking good. So we have courses, dashboard, only visible if they're logged in, the my account section, and profile will be visible if they're logged in. And I guess we can do like the home page. We'll call that home. And you're kind of getting the idea here. So we can customize this however we want, but that looks good to me for now. So then I'll just click Save Menu. Now let's jump over to our custom template that we've built in Thrive Theme Builder and assign this menu to the header. Okay, so now we're editing our page template in Thrive Theme Builder. I'm not going to go into the details of this. If you have any questions, I have a great course that covers all of it. But we'll come in here and we'll search for the custom menu element, drop that on the page. We'll keep it simple and we'll choose a WordPress menu and we'll choose our main menu that we created. Again, going with very basic. So now you can see we have home, courses, dashboard, and we see that because we're logged in, and we have my account where we can see profile because we're logged in, and our logout option. And that looks really, really slick. So we're going to save our work and we're done with our custom menu. All right, so here we are on that dashboard that we created. We have a link that goes to our courses and workshops, one that goes to our Facebook group, and one that would send people to a support form or something that we would basically be able to field support questions. And again, totally up to you what you want to do here. You could add more tiles, whatever suits you. And also we've updated our navigation now so that we have our dashboard link that'll take people right to this page. We have our courses link, kind of a mimic of what we have here. Then we have this neat My Account section that we just created. So now if we were to click on My Profile, we're brought to our profile page where we can update all the information on file about us and press Update. That's not bad, is it? Pretty quick and pretty easy. All right, next I want to build a custom login page so that my users have a really clean and nice looking login page to visit instead of having to use the default WordPress login page. So let's go ahead and make a new page and we'll call this login, and we'll go ahead and publish that for now. And then we're going to edit with Thrive Architect. We'll go ahead and keep this a normal page on our website. We want people to be able to see the header. And now what we're going to do is go to our element tray and we're going to look in here for the login and registration form element, and we're going to drag that onto our page. Now we're going to keep this pretty simple, and we're going to use one of the really nice default templates given to us by Thrive Themes. So let's look through the little gallery here and let's find a login element that we like. Oh, I don't know. Let's go ahead and pick this one right here. There we go. That doesn't look so bad. And now we're technically almost done. We've added it to our page. We could make a few more tweaks to this if we wanted to. So for example, I'm going to click on the element, and over here on the left-hand side, I just want this for login. I don't want people to be able to register an account. So for example, where it says don't have an account yet, sign up. I don't want that. I just want this to be a login form. So we'll leave that there. Now, if we wanted to edit what the form itself looked like, we would click Edit Form Elements, but I think this looks terrific and I'm going to leave it alone aesthetically. And instead, the only change I'm going to make is the after successful login, what I'm going to do is change this and I'm going to have it switch to a custom URL. And that custom URL is going to be to the custom dashboard that we just made in the previous step for our users. So I know what the URL is, it's dashboard. So I'll add that in there. Now, the next step, we want to come back into the back end of our Thrive Apprentice site and add the login page as our Thrive Apprentice login page. Then we go to login and access restriction, and we search for the login page that we just made. We called it login. There it is, the page that we created, and we're all set. So we have our page now associated with Thrive Apprentice so that whenever it references what page people need to log in at, it's going to reference the great page that we just made. And that's it. You don't even need to save the page. We're done with the login element. All right, now we need to set up the email that our users are going to get once they purchase our course. So to do that, we are under Thrive Apprentice, under Settings and Email Templates, and we're going to choose the New Account Created. So for this, let's change the subject line. Let's call this Welcome to Courses. here's your information. You can update that to whatever you want. Now, inside our copy here, we have a greeting that uses the merge tag or short code for their first name. That's totally fine. And let's just add some text here that will be a little bit more personal, a little bit more on brand for us. All right, so I've just took 30 seconds and wrote this up. I said, your account's been created and you're all set. This email contains your login information and a few links to get you started. I'm gonna make this a hyperlink, right? I could have typed that in, or I could just leave it like this, but essentially a link over to the dashboard, the courses, and the Facebook group. And then here we're saying, here's your username and your password. Don't mess with any of these things. This is basically generated by Thrive Apprentice. It uses these short codes here. So if we click insert short code, you can see that it will insert their first name, username, password, login button, login link, that kind of stuff. So essentially leave that alone. And then I simply said to log in, you can visit the dashboard or click the link below. And I just went ahead and used the link that they provided. So really, that's all there is to it. This email is going to go out to them the minute they complete the purchase inside of ThriveCart. And as you can see, we made sure to check the ThriveCart box down there. That's definitely what we want to use. You could also check this when a user creates a free account, but on this example, it's just for ThriveCart. And when done with that email, all we have to do is click Save Template. All right, so we're in ThriveCart now. I have ThriveCart Pro. This is my account, and we need to make sure that we set up a couple of integrations first. So first things first, go up to the upper right-hand corner, go to Settings, Integrations, and set up your Stripe account or your PayPal account or whatever processor you want to use. We're not going to cover that in the video, but assuming you're using Stripe, and if you're in the United States, I don't know why you wouldn't, it's a one-click setup, you're all done. Perfect integration. And the last thing you'll want to do is make sure that you have your Thrive Apprentice site connected. Now to enable this, you simply click View Settings, and then you'll want to authorize a Thrive Apprentice site. So to authorize a Thrive Apprentice site, you click this plus button, and then you need to go to your Thrive Apprentice backend. So let's do that now. Now, once you're on the settings section, you'll want to go to API keys right here, and you're going to copy your key, and you'll simply come back to ThriveCart. You'll authorize a Thrive Apprentice site. You'll give it whatever name you want to help you identify it. You'll paste in the URL to your website, and I would paste in my Thrive Apprentice key and click Save. It's really, really easy. And there's, of course, a video here if you have any questions. So now, assuming that you have all of those integrations set up, it won't take you literally more than a minute. It shouldn't. Let's go ahead and set up our product. Now, I'm going to breeze through this section. If you want a really deep dive into how to use ThriveCart, I have a ThriveCart workshop. I'll include a link in the description, and that'll get you from start to finish fully set up. We're just going to breeze through this really quick to show you how this integration works. So we're going to make a course here. We'll call it the best course ever. For fulfillment, this is the key here. So you're going to want to enter a support URL. I'm just going to enter my email address. And instead of display their invoice, we want to add them to our membership site. So once you've chosen that, you want to find your website under right here where it says select your Thrive Apprentice site. Now for us, that's going to be our demo site. So we'll choose that. Now, if you get an error here, it's because of a couple of things. So you'll see that as soon as I chose my demo site, my course loaded, right? So I could have chosen all the courses that I had published. If you didn't publish your course, it's going to say, we couldn't find any courses, or it'll give you some kind of error. So go back to your Thrive Apprentice site, publish your courses, make sure everything's working on that end, then come back here. You might have to wait a minute or two, but otherwise you should be completely good to go, and it should load just like it did for me. Now you can check that box to revoke when a customer cancels or refunds. And here is the key. Remember that confirmation page that we made. We're going to paste the link of our confirmation page here where it says login URL. This is really not intuitive. This is ThriveCart calling this our login URL, but what this really is the URL that we're going to send them to upon purchase. So let's grab the URL for our course that we built and paste that in here. All right, so there's the link to our confirmation page. You'll just have to trust me on that one. You'll see how it works when we're done. Go ahead and click next. And now we're just going to stick with our standard checkout, but I want to remind you that we do have some of those funnels that I mentioned are available. So for this one, we're going to use our standard checkout template. So if you have access to these templates, you'll want to download or click the standard checkout template link, and that'll allow you to add it to your ThriveCart site, and you'll be able to use what I'm going to use next. All right, so with the push of a button using our template that we imported, we have a very clean and effective checkout page inside of ThriveCart. You can edit all of these details, and again, I walk you through all of that in my ThriveCart workshop. So we're not going to really bother ourselves with making the edits here in this video, but we're going to get the page where we like it, and then we're going to click Next, and we're going to edit the success page. Now, instead of showing them the success page, we're going to send them somewhere else. So if you don't see the options here on the left, click into this background section area. Make sure you're not clicked into an element. And it says when the purchase is complete, we want to redirect to our custom page. That's the page that we set in the login page box. That made no sense because we're not sending them to a login page, it's to a confirmation page. So with this setting in place, go ahead and click Next. And now our product is done. Next, we can click Next. And then if you want to, you can add Google and Facebook tracking. I'm not going to right now. And then we're going to click Save and Get URL. Now with our course link copied, let's jump back to the sales page that we made and update some of those buttons so that people get sent to the checkout page. So now that we're on that sales page, let's click on our buttons. Let's update these links to send people to the sales page. So you'll just come in here and you'll edit all of the buttons with the link that we copied from ThriveCart, and scroll down, find all instances of the button and simply replace it. Now, instead of inserting an embedded processor, because in this tutorial we're linking over to ThriveCart instead, we could have done an embed. I show how to do that in my ThriveCart workshop, but instead we're just going to simply come back up here and duplicate our button. Actually, we're going to duplicate the entire column section here. Let's duplicate that and then just drag, move our mouse to the bottom of the screen and drop it there and delete this content box entirely. And there we go. So let's go ahead and click Save. And now if we preview this page and click Enroll in the course now, it will take us over to our completed workshop. Now let's go ahead and fill in some test information and see what happens. All right, now let's click Complete Order. And there we go. It redirected me to the confirmation page. And now the user has been added to the course. They're going to get the email that we set up from Thrive Apprentice telling them how to log in and access the material. They're going to have the link to this terrific custom dashboard that we built. And they're going to be able to update their profile using that wonderful profile page that we created. And they're going to be able to have a complete student course experience that we've been able to create in actually not too long a time. So that's going to do it for this complete funnel setup. If you have any questions about building a complete course funnel, definitely check out one of my many courses on the subject or my free resources here on the channel or on the Convology blog. And of course, if you have any questions and need one-on-one coaching or consulting help, you can definitely reach out to me for that as well. So that'll do it for me. This was Doug at Convology, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.